What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be reviewing Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2, Episode 16, Truth and Lies. So let's talk about this. But before we begin, if you haven't watched my Episode 15 review, I highly recommend watching that first before watching this one. And minor spoilers for this episode, I highly recommend going to watch it on Netflix because it's out now. So without further ado, let's talk about this episode. Now, the episode starts off from the last episode Ross telling Aaron that he wants to turn the merge back to normal in his own image, and the ninjas racing against a dragon to get their invite back, which they of course successfully did. We of course get Zeatrix versus Euphrasia, with Zeatrix of course winning and gets Euphrasia's wind elemental powers. Not versus Tox, which goes horribly bad because Not beat the crap out of Tox and of course gets her elemental power of poison. And we got this cool moment where Frack teaches Aaron to use Ross's teachings to make him perform a better spinjitzu, which actually works. So with the help of Ross's teachings, was able to of course help Aaron's spinjitzu look natural for the time being. We of course go back to the tournament of the sources where Lloyd of course competes Mr. Pale, which Lloyd of course wins and gets the elemental power of light. And our first time looking at Mr. Pale's face because it's always been invisible. Then we of course got Cole versus Frack, which of course Frack wins and gains the elemental power of Earth. Aaron confronts Sora if that she used her elemental power to make it look like Aaron did objects with Jitsu, and Aaron is now pissed at Sora. Biggest detail of all in this episode is that Roz uses a dragon icon to, of course, summon the Source Dragon of Energy, and that's how the Source Dragon of Energy is captured below Imperium. Now, back at the Tournament of the Sources, Nia, of course, competes against Not, which, of course, Not wins because there was a bit of cheating going on, and Not has both Nia's elemental power of water and her elemental power of lightning that she, of course, won against Jay. And finally, in this episode, we, of course, got Cinder versus Sora, which, of course, Sora wins and, of course, gains Cinder's smoke powers and his heat powers from wildfire. And the episode ends with, of course, Master Wu's spirit coming to Cole and bringing him to, of course, a monastery. Now, this episode is quite good, but the only thing that was lacking a bunch was, of course, the race itself from the first from last episode being carried over to like the first few minutes of this episode, and then we get to of course more of the tournament battle stuff. And to be honest, I wish they just put it in one episode instead of putting it in one episode and then the first half of an episode. But I really enjoyed the tournament fights. We of course got Zeatrix versus Euphrasia. We got Tox versus Not, which I'm happy that we got Tox fighting, and we got Lloyd versus Mr. Pale, which I love how they finally gave Mr. Pale a face due to the fact that there was like budgeting reasons for not giving him a normal face back in season 4. So I'm happy that we finally get a face reveal. And of course, Frack versus Cole, that was a really dynamic fight between both of these characters because both of their elemental powers are very similar. And we of course got Nia versus Not, which I really like the fight scene between Nia using her water powers and her lightning powers from Jay. And finally, Sora versus Cinder. Really funny of how Sora of course traps Cinder. And yeah, that's basically it of this episode. Also, I'm happy that Aaron finally learned a perfect spin jitsu. But overall, this is an okay, good episode. Not one of my favorite episodes. Not in like the top 5 nor 10 episodes from season 2, but it's a decent episode. But yeah, that's gonna be it in today's video. And stay tuned because I'll be, of course, reviewing episode 17, The Sword Shatters. So stay tuned for that video. But until then, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications whenever I post a brand new video. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!